This is available on Bitso, MoonPay, CoinMina, additional listings coming on Bullish, Mercado Bitcoin, and others. What about a huge platform like Coinbase and others, for example? When does that happen?
We are continuing to expand distribution and availability of Ripple dollars on other exchanges. So I think you can expect to see more availability, more announcements coming soon.
How soon?
Imminently.
Well, we'll look out for that. What about in terms of adoption? How big do you expect this to get in the next year realistically? I mean, do you have a baseline kind of projection on how big it could get based on the adoption you're talking about with clients? Do you think large institutions are using this? Who's using it?
So, I mean, if we look at the crypto landscape overall, I mean, it has certainly been, the market's been growing in the past couple quarters. And, we think that this year is going to be a big year for crypto overall. And so demand for stable coins, we think will grow along with that. As you mentioned, I mean, it's really the way to on-ramp and off-ramp. It's also used as a key asset in trading. So we think that the market's going to grow tremendously over the course of the next year. Our demand from within our client base, our business doubled within payments last year. And so we see a really strong growth trajectory for our payment solution. And with that, Ripple US dollar will have a premium role.
Monica, what about other asset types? You've seen a lot of interest when it comes to ETFs tied to cryptocurrencies. A lot of questions around whether you could see an ETF tied to spot XRP. What kind of discussions are you having with people about this? Do you think we'll see one soon?
I think we will see one very soon. I think that we will see more, various crypto spot ETFs this year coming out of the U.S. And I think XRP is likely to be next in line after Bitcoin and ETH. There's already been a number of different companies like Canary and others who have filed. And so we think, especially with the administration change, and that the approvals of those filings will accelerate.
Humanoid robots, my friends. The ChatGPT moment for general robotics is just around the corner.
All right, you saw it, folks. We've come a long way in the last 70 years. And
the assumption that you're serious about making Canada the 51st state of the United States, the leader of the Conservative Party in Canada said, under no circumstance will it ever be the 51st state.
Maybe he won't win, but maybe he will. I don't
point, you had suggested
Listen, I don't care what he says.
But Sir Rofes, you said you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it. We're spending hundreds of billions a year to take care of Canada. We lose in trade deficits. We're losing massive. We don't need their cars. They make 20% of our cars. We don't need that. I'd rather make them in Detroit.
Crypto was one of the fastest growing categories of exchange traded funds in 2024. The most popular of the funds, the iShares Bitcoin Trust, ballooned to over $50 billion in total assets. Right now, crypto is a small part of the 401k market, but it could grow substantially in 2025. The Security and Exchange Commission's approval of spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs last year was a key change for the industry. Crypto investors now have new options in various types of accounts, including individual retirement accounts and brokerage windows for plan sponsors that offer a self-directed option for 401ks and employer-sponsored retirement plans. Views are mixed about how much crypto to add to retirement savings or if it's wise to add any at all. Some financial advisors say crypto should be a part of a 401k plan because it's a non-correlated alternative asset class and a hedge against the devaluation of fiat currency as central banks increase liquidity. Others point to volatility and risk as reasons to be conservative. Since crypto can significantly increase risk, a retirement nest egg could suffer a large loss at the wrong time.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher, and you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. Now, I've been asked why I don't make the videos longer. Those who built me from the beginning know why. I let you come out the matrix, put your shades on for about 15 to 30 minutes, and then I allow you to go back in the matrix. I try to make these videos short and sweet. Now we have Monica Long from Ripple. Says that the new Ripple stablecoin will expand and they will be pushing adoption. Also, a XRP ETF is around the corner. And we're definitely going to get more and more crypto ETFs. We know what Larry Fink stated. ETFs are the gateway to tokenization. They want all these stocks tokenized and put on blockchain. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have NVIDIA's Jensen last night bringing out the machines. And we had Trump getting funding for these data centers. And I told you time and time again what Trump's master plan is. And that's to bring in these robots, algorithms, and drones that take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep that go inside the metaverse. Remember, he's here to deceive the world. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. Not because it's not there, because they reject it. You have the knowledge right at your fingertips, but you stay distracted on things that don't matter. And these movies are about to get stepped up for the next 3 to 3.5 years while they build this fourth industrial revolution. While the sheep sleep, the NWO builds. And Trump is asked about Canada. Tried to blow it off, but Canada says there's no chance. And Canada is actually bigger than the United States, just that the population is low. And Trump says the United States can no longer fund Canada, but there's plenty of countries that we know, that we fund, that we have no business funding. And you're definitely not going to hear anything from Trump when it comes to that. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have crypto and 401ks. And you guys know how I feel about 401ks. 401ks have been great because we know the Fed has been pumping money. But now it's time for them to start shrinking liquidity and start building this fourth industrial revolution. And these stocks and 401ks are going to take a beating. Remember what Bush Jr. wanted to do. He wanted to take Social Security, make it private, hand over to the people, and put it into the stock market, and then the stock market crashed. That means all their Social Security would have been gone. Guys, we've seen the movie before. But when it comes to crypto, you definitely want to hold it yourself. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have the CFTC chair steps down. After 7 years at the CFTC, he gets to ride off in the sun. And then we have Jim Cramer talking about yields. And depending on what Trump does when it comes to these tariffs, if he keeps his promise, these yields are going to continue to rise. But that's also going to allow the Fed to come in. So the markets are definitely going to become very volatile. But in the short term, Jim Cramer talks about the jobs report. And we know when it comes to the jobs report, it's always manipulated. The only thing we have to do is sit back, get your popcorn, let it play out. We know plenty of hiring was done for the holidays. But this first quarter of this year, all that is going to change. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, It's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Boston Benham announced he's stepping down from the agency. His last day as chairman will be January 20th, Inauguration Day, and he will leave the agency entirely in early February. As the agency's head, Benham embraced both Bitcoin and Ether as commodities, sometimes clashing with SEC Chair Gary Gensler, whose standing on ETH has been more ambiguous. Gensler will also step down from his role on Inauguration Day. The CFTC took legal actions against a number of crypto firms under Benham's leadership, including FTX and Binance.
When rates were running high and the economy was running too hot, they're presuming that long rates are going to go back to where we were when we had such a hot survey, and that's exactly what happened today. The decline in bond prices, rise in yields, gained more steam as the Treasury Department sold 10-year bonds at a sizable discount. That also is not a good sign. We get the Labor Department's non-farm payroll numbers on Friday. Now, if this report shows that unemployment is creeping higher or wages are stabilizing, then those long rates are going to come down. This labor report is the single most important set of numbers out there. They are authoritative. They control the dialogue. But what is the dialogue about? I think it's about some investors losing faith in the Fed. These traders are wondering why the heck the Fed cut short rates by 50 basis points in September, then gave them another 25 in November, another 25 in December. What the heck did they see that made them so aggressive? Judging by the data, nothing. The credibility issue, if you claim you're data dependent and the data is strong, then why the heck are you cutting so aggressively? And I have to admit, as a huge backer of Jay Powell, I myself am mystified. When long-term interest rates that are set by the bond market actually went higher after the rate cuts, that was a verdict. It was a nasty verdict. It was a mean verdict. It said that inflation's coming back. Business is too strong. Stop cutting. At the very least, the bond guys think the Fed got it backwards. And that's where we are now. We know the Fed can't raise rates here. That would make them look like total idiots. But every time we get a hot survey or report and long-term interest rates go higher, there are plenty of people who say that stocks have gotten ahead of themselves. There are others who know only one thing. If rates are going higher, then we're headed for a burst of inflation that will send stocks lower. So sell, sell, sell. And that's exactly what happened today. Now, the really hard-hit sectors during this period got a nice little bump today, but the big techs like the NVIDIAs, the Teslas, which I'm now branding a tech, and Palantir, the hottest of the hot, got clobbered today. And these former market leaders will go even lower if the Labor Department comes in too hot. I don't want to make too much out of one session. That's two-day traders. But to set up a big employment number coupled with earnings next week does not favor the bulls. We need some signal, some sign that the Fed did the right thing when it cut rates, or else we'll have more days like today when long rates go up and a lot of stocks go down. We want stocks to represent their fundamentals, not the S&P futures.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.